Happy New Year. Well, of course, by now you must have heard it for the umpteenth time. But let me also join those who have wished you a Happy New Year by congratulating you. It's the first episode of The Lounge in 2024, and I bid you welcome. Now, first off, with me on set today are Margaret Osazuwa.
Hi.
I have one other name, Orobosa.
Don't bother now. What is the problem?
What's that name?
What is it?
Help me. Just help me. I choose to learn. That name today.
Why?
It's one of my New Year resolutions.
And you cannot even just ask.
Nah, I'm now asking.
You have to divulge the name.
So is it
Irobosa.
Irobosa? Now we all know. And that's in the same vein, I guess I can just say I am Melanie Abiola Ishola. And we're also joined by Adetutu Shobowale, just so I don't say Adebowale.
I'm sure you're actually correct.
All right, thank you. So it's great to have Adetutu, most especially. And that's because Adetutu is a table shaker. And that's our way of saying welcome back to the show. And so to our hot topic today, my pregnant wife absconds with lover. Took my son along. It reached to do. But this is not where I'm going to remove my glasses yet. So, I mean, just as you heard it should be that simple, except there is a lot in between. Now, very quickly, I want to reel out our phone lines, 091-3373-4592. I will do that again in the course of the program. And when it is time, you get the opportunity to call us and be a part of the program. We are very interested in knowing about your thoughts about this thing. So let's go to the story. Interesting story. Imagine waking up on a beautiful day as this Thursday and getting on X, formerly Twitter, and reading this thread that has a beautiful story in 10 pages, that would be. And then we start by a couple, an amazing couple, who hail from Edo State and settled in Enugu. They started their lives. Apparently, according to the narrator, the husband came from a wealthy background and got the support of his family as well to set up his business. So his business was doing well, and he eventually set up the wife's business alongside. And you know, Oga Madam's wife would go to the shop and return home. That was a life, sweet. Until one day, the said husband got home and didn't meet the wife, the son, mark you, plus the pregnancy. So he went to their estate gate and asked, please, did you see my wife? You know, and indeed today in Nigeria, people are afraid of a lot of things. And they want to sincerely know if something bad has happened. You know, if there was a forceful entrance into the house, kidnappings, all sort of things. And then he went in search of his wife, got to the gate man who said, no, I'm actually unaware of your wife's whereabouts. And then he says, okay. He went to his own family to say, oh, this had happened. And the story reads in part that he was advised not to reach the wife's family yet until the following day. So when he did, the story twisted. And so the wife's family accused him of having killed their daughter and started to threaten him. And that was the story that spread to say the so-so-so family are guilty of having killed their daughter. Maybe, of course, used for money rituals, we do not know. But in today's Nigeria, people can accuse people of all sorts of things. Sure. Now, let's fast forward this story. The guy, his parents continue to live with the shame. And this event happened, according to the narrator, in January 2023. It seems like we have come a full circle. Because now in January 2024, this guy has a friend who is in the abroad. By the abroad, specifically the United Kingdom. Now, the wife of the friend went to the mall, I guess, met with this lady from Edo State, whom she thought, kindred spirit, my sister from back home in Nigeria. And they just hit it off. Sweet and amazing relationship, friendship. And so in the course of time, they, started to go out to relate. The two families became friends. Now, the husband's friend, whose wives had started a relationship with the husband's former wife, runaway wife. In the process of that, you share pictures and you know how things are lately. The guy then found out, because this UK friend to the husband never knew the wife, never met the wife. And so he eventually saw that this was his wife. And they now sent, according to the storyteller, the father now sent people to confirm in the United Kingdom that it was truly the wife. Alas, it was the wife, the son. The other pregnancy that they took along was now a sweet baby girl. And there was a handsome young man in the picture who's the new husband, or we could say lover, because we do not know whether they're married or not, but lover. Now, this is the entire scenario. And so we're asking, if you are in the shoes of this young man, what will you do? Now, let me tell you what he said he was going to do. They've said that they are getting the lady, the son, and according to the guy, he actually still doesn't know if the girl was actually his
or not.
Yes, because it's alleged that the wife had been having an affair with a said lover who came to Nigeria, right, for a period of time in his own house. Wow, before they absconded. So now the scenario is the guy said, now they have an opportunity to clear their names because their names, their businesses, everything has suffered on account of the fact that people thought they probably killed, kidnapped or whatever to the wife, according to the story of the wife's family. All right. So now he's looking forward to the wife coming back home, and he has promised that the wife, in his words, will burn. Well, does the wife deserve to burn or not? I do not know. This is where we need you. And the phone lines are right on your screen. Please do well and call. Let's not say we're starting the year on a Glasgow's level, but let's say violence has a bit of value, and we're bringing the value of violence. Margaret, I think I want you to give me the highlight of the story first. There are a lot of highlights for me, but let me know what your highlights are.
My highlight for me was the fact that the family of the lady, they were aware that she was traveling with her lover, and then they had the effrontery. If I maybe I should not say effrontery, the audacity,
The gods.
in fact, to tell the man that he has kidnapped their daughter. When I read that part of it, I was like,
Do you guys
what?
it?
What? I couldn't even put words together. What were you? How? You know, coming at him like that and making him so uneasy. He was really looking for his wife and
Absolutely.
his children. And then you're telling me you've kidnapped. You don't even want to try African mothers when they lose it. So I can imagine that entire scenario play out. And then he now finds out that they were in the know. In fact, those estates people, they cannot tell me that they were not in the know. They were also tipped.
Interesting highlight. You know, because for me, I think that's the biggest part of the gist.
I'm telling you.
Because if I was looking for my wife, who is your daughter, it should even pain you more than it's paining me. Because now you're picking. Now
You born
now you born am. I marry him. And I'm trying to reverse this story. Let's truly say that it was the husband, you know, that eloped like that. I know what we would say, especially my gender. And today I may be playing the devil's advocate. So, Adetutu, what really is your highlight?
Today I'm going to be a guy. Because I will never support this kind of thing. So I'm a guy today, please, my gender.
By all means,
forgive
by all
me.
means, take up the role.
So I'm a guy today. Actually, it's so terrible for the parents of the woman to know the fact and still pretend. So it is automatic that they are supporting
The
what
woman.
their daughter has done, which is terrible.
Right.
Terrible. Because they should have put themselves in the place of that man. What he will go through
What money
or
will
what
cost.
he was going through at the moment of not finding his wife, reaching out to her parents, and then accusing him of kidnapping or using their child for rituals. That's terrible.
Really terrible. And I think that defamation of character here is about the biggest thing that reeks.
Yeah.
Because then we would now go back a little bit. And in going back, I look at a situation where it's as though the wife, the parents of the wife literally had the plan with their daughter all along. It seemed that even this husband in this case, who's telling his story, apparently could be a meal ticket. And to the degree to which he was able to provide an escape from poverty, they had allowed their daughter marry him. Now, then comes along another young man whom they think has it going a bit more. Plus, the promise of Jackpot. And the daughter has now Jackpot with a pregnancy and a whole human being, a child.
Yeah.
And you are still able to accuse a whole human of having kidnapped, knowing fully well. Now let's go to the gate man. What was offered the gate man to make him say, Oga, I did not know anything. I did not see anything.
Okay, so offering the gate man something at this time boils down to the economy. I would like to go that route. Times are easy, to say the least.
You're sounding like a true Yoruba, an African woman.
Times are very easy, and I could imagine what they would have offered the guy.
Right.
For him to do that. I mean, it's not normal for a human being to do that. So if the guy could do that, they could have offered him, they must have offered him something really huge, something that he felt that this one, if my family eats today, they will eat 3 weeks.
To the rest of the year.
To the rest of that year, the feast is on to. Do you understand? Because that's the only way I can understand the gatesman, the husband coming to meet you in that state, and you standing your ground. In fact, this story has so much to it. I don't even know that.
I think I have a contrary
opinion.
There's possibility that the gatesman does not know anything. I stay in an estate. Like the story now, the woman did not take anything along. Just the
Child and the pregnancy.
just went out. So you don't expect a security man to be querying you
Where you're going.
where you're going.
No, we're not talking about where she was going. The husband asked if the woman passed.
Did you see her pass? And he said,
no.
At that period.
I should think that should be the
That
only
should be
gate
the
man,
only thing.
according to the story.
Or he is on duty, but not at the gate at that moment.
How is it so? Who opened the gate?
And we have a number of security. Where I stay, we have about 3-4. So it's possible that the particular security man the husband went to was not at the gate at that
time.
Okay.
I would fault this, but let's just all leave it to possibilities. These are all possibilities, to be honest. And you know, you also ask yourself, how possible is this, or is it that this plan was hatched without the knowledge of the husband who was living with the wife until that day? How could a lover have been coming home to, you know, have an affair with your wife where there are no other people living in the same compound? Do you have no helps and all of these other things? I just have questions. I'm not blaming the victim. I'm just asking these questions. They say when a woman has left you, you know. It doesn't start the day she leaves.
She has pre-planned it.
Because this is a really serious conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the song by Dari Art Alade. You're not the woman I used to know. You're the shadow of yourself.
Oh my God,
Margaret, I've come again, but I got it this time. It's a new year. So finally, Melanie now gets lyrics right. Tell them. Okay, you know, but I mean, I look at that lyric. When the song came out, I felt like this was really deep. But I also felt that that song was equally more significant because that song had a man who was on top of happenings in the life of the woman he was involved with. And so in this case, I'm like when a woman leaves you, I won't lie to you. You know before the woman leaves you. Please, let's interrogate this. How do you think this thing came about? Could the woman also maybe have been abused in that relationship? Was she pretending and looking for a right time to go? There are all sort of possibilities.
While there are two sides to this, it could be possible that, I don't want to bring up the case of abuse. I don't think she was abused. It could be, but I don't want to think she was. Why? At the end of the story, when the man said he was going to get the woman arrested and he had involved the entire family, I didn't see where the woman probably said something, whether she restricted or she restrained herself or something. See, this thing that happened was pre-planned. Now, according to the story that you meted out to us, he was well-to-do. He put you in a shop.
Upgraded your status. According to the story.
And according to him, his mother really helped the woman,
to become successful.
Where I'm going to take it off is the fact that I think that, you see that jackpot thing. I mean, look at the way Nigeria is now. Everybody wants to jackpot because they think that greener pastures abroad that they can't find here. The grasses are probably ash in Nigeria. You know, they're probably blue and not green. Brown grasses, you know, it's yellow.
And it's only green in the abroad.
Green in the abroad.
Absolutely.
So that must be one of the reasons why, because I would not, you know, if the man is as good as he says that he is, because now this is just one person's
Absolutely.
speaking,
We don't have
it from one person's perspective. Now, if the man says he's as good as he says that he is.
No, he didn't even claim to be good. He only told us of how economically he helped.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He's good. He's like a good husband.
No, it could be economically supporting.
Let's just say she was
and also
lacking.
Abusive.
Okay, let's just say she was not lacking here.
Yeah, it could be abusive.
True. It could be.
Yes.
But I don't want to say that he will not have the effrontery if he was that abusive to come out like that.
Right.
Do you understand? Right. There will be he will protect some certain things. He bared it out. He bared it all. Like, so I'm looking at an aspect of maybe there was no abuse here. Maybe the woman just fell out of love, and because he was doing so much for her at the time, he felt he was doing enough. He was doing so much, and he wasn't sensitive to the fact that she was leaving. Like, she was slowly removing herself from him. He didn't even know.
I think another thing is...
What if she was an actress? What if she was acting all along? And he couldn't even know?
It is possible that before they got married, the only reason why the woman married him could be the fact that he has been helping her family. And there is possibility that the woman did not agree to the marriage, but the family pushed her. We have mothers like that. I was seeing a movie yesterday and I felt like crying because the mother was all about, there's rich man there, you are following this one. So she pushed her daughter into one trap like that. I will not call him a good man, it's a trap. So we have parents like that, especially our mothers. I don't know what's wrong. We have some mothers that when they do some things, you have to sit down and think, is this my mother? Is this her mother? So there is possibility that the parents, let me put it as parents now, had pushed her to marry the man because he had helped her. So it's now a kind of, okay, we are trying to pay back for what he has done. Not forgetting that the lady is not actually interested in the man.
Okay, I didn't
just to like pay back.
I get you, even though I have a contrary opinion, because the mother came out and the father to come and shout, you kidnapped my daughter,
you killed her.
I get it. When they now see another rich man.
I also see your point. And sincerely, let me say where I see your point. So it's a case of who's the best bidder at this point in time. That the Pekin, exactly. It's their daughter that is now the escape route from poverty. And I say this loosely because indeed we don't have the other side of the story. But it's presented as though, because for me now, the jackpot thing may make it look like the man has something that the Nigerian husband doesn't have. At least he doesn't live in the abroad. He lives in Nigeria. Okay, so I want to call out the phone lines again. I am sure it's right there on the screen. Do well and call. Let's read your comments. We want to know what you're thinking. And the phone line, very quickly, is 091-3373-494592. Again, 091-3373-4592. Do well and call. We're very eager to hear from you. So again, another way of looking at this is possibly to ask what really goes wrong in relationships. Sometimes anything can go wrong, to be honest. Relationships that you expected would end so well would end up not ending well. And for me, this is a case of a very young relationship. And it may want to make me base this on the premise of, in the first place, this marriage was based on a lie. If you have just one son and another pregnancy when you eloped, even if you had maybe some delays, let's say it's just a 5-year relationship. So, were you tired? Can women be sincere about, I really like you, I want to marry you, or I don't want to be in this relationship? Or is it all about the monies now?
That's a deep question.
This is actually huge. But before I answer that, I'm trying to put myself in the position of that woman. Because I've once been in a relationship. Because sometimes guys can come out, praise you to people, I'm doing this. People will see what you're doing outside, but they don't get to see what you're doing inside to the woman. I've once been in a relationship whereby the guy would be out there praising me to his friends, to relatives, but inside he was verbally abusive. So when I complain, nobody believes me. They will be like, this guy is just left here. He was just praising you up and down. Sorry, I don't mean to bring this to you. Sorry,
It's
wherever
okay.
you are.
It's okay.
So I kept reporting, and people were like, "Ah, don't be ungrateful.
He loves
Don't be
you.
ungrateful. This guy loves you. He's always speaking good about
So-
you." And I know what I was going through inside. Any small thing, and so, not physically, just verbally, but that got to my mental health. Like, why? So it could be that the man has been verbally abusive, because at the end of the day, he will come home, do good things that people will see, and they will not know what he's doing underneath.
You know, it's really interesting, and we sincerely have to be able to talk about the fact that there could be different angles
To this story. That's what I said, there are two
And
sides.
yes, and it's very important. And what we are doing is to just pick a story as reported by a certain handle on X, right? That, see, this happened, and I'm sharing this story. And we're analyzing this story, and we're saying, so your wife literally absconds with a lover, goes with your son, goes with your
Daughter.
who was a
yeah,
pregnancy
you know.
at a point in time. Naturally, you are mad. And I'm looking at the mental health of the said man at a point like this. Of course, business has been bad for a whole year. The entire family, if you've lost somebody before, in Yoruba they say, "Omo mi ku, sonjo mo mi nu lo," literally translating that we lost somebody to the cold hands of death is better than we just
Can't find the
can't
person. You don't know
find
the person
this
is.
person again. And so in that case, I imagine this guy truly sincerely believes that his wife went missing, and he has a wife he's looking for. But
End of the day.
but at the end of the day, that is not the situation. The situation is that the wife found love and eloped with a lover. Now, for me, I want us to look at the angle of an advice for the young man. I looked at how the story concluded, and it concluded on almost a seeming the woman is going to burn, because they said they have asked that the wife and whatnot be brought back, because indeed this was a crime, right? It's a crime. And so if the wife comes back, they've said plus the gate man, plus the parents of the woman, plus everybody involved in a way or the other are going to play to the gallery where the law is concerned. So this happens. What do you advise the man as it relates to relating with a wife? Of course, in my own opinion, that marriage is no more.
There's no marriage.
There's no marriage now.
That marriage is no more. No, some people may still say, well, they are married, she just eloped. That marriage is no more. Now, with the kids, would it be co-parenting? Do you think that the man would be able to continue to see the woman with what
First things first,
she has done?
if you say I should advise the man, honestly, how time to run a paternity test? I mean, I've seen way too many things on social media, and I know people would say, it's not right, it's not, it doesn't teach trust the man. That's bullshit as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you don't, if you're carrying somebody's child, you don't elope with another man and then come back and tell me that it's my child. It doesn't make any sense to my hearing. So he should do a paternity test, and when he gets the paternity test done, and it says that, yes, this child is mine, then he should take responsibility for his children. As for that marriage, even in my own side, Edo State, you know they happen. Where woman go leave man, you can't say there's still marriage. There's no marriage to turn on here now. It's over. Honestly, it's even worse. If maybe she moved out of the house and maybe she was staying somewhere else, there could even still be maybe something to do. You eloped with a lover. Naturally, men are jealous people, possessive people. In fact, in that man's head, he's already thinking of the many things that you have been doing with that man. So just even forget that marriage is done.
Okay, but I want to switch this a bit. If it was the woman that this happened to, and the man eloped with a lover, which happens almost all the time, and the woman will go from mountain to mountain, praying that the man would come back home. Can we not advise this man to pray and hope that when the wife comes back finally from the UK, she will be in her right senses and be able to understand that she did him wrong, and be able to say, my husband, I was wrong. This will not happen again. Please accept me back. It was just a mistake.
Are you being real or what? What would be the prayer point exactly? To who will
But
the
women
prayer
have prayed
go
this
to?
for decades, for centuries.
True.
Praying for their husbands who elopes with a woman to come back home.
Well, I think this case is very different.
How is it? Because it's the tables turned.
No, I'm not about the gender now. I'm just about the fact that she eloped and that is in the open space.
Do you know that?
I'm about the gender. Men have eloped too with women.
Okay, but Melanie, do you know that?
Except that they just didn't go with pregnancy
there
or
was
with
no
baby.
picture,
Right.
if there was no picture to this story, if the friend had not taken a random picture, nobody would know.
And the man could also still be praying.
And that's one. And two, this woman, does it seem to me like she's paid that she left her husband?
No.
She's happy.
She's happy, I think.
You know, it could have been an escape route for her.
From
Troubles. Like the man said that she alleged he has been abusing her. We've not had the woman's story. There's possibility.
No. There's no allegation of.
Okay, there's no
I was the one who
That was
said
Melanie.
that there is
Okay,
a
probably.
possibility.
Okay,
That what if
let's
these are
say
the issues?
It could be. The man could have been abusing her, and probably because he's influential, they do not have that power
he's
to
well-to-do.
challenge.
I mean,
the
if he
man.
can bring the woman from that
So the
place
only
down
thing
here,
they could do is
he's
plan
wealthy.
this secretly and let her go. It could be. Anything could have been the reason.
So, if you would advise the woman at this point, what advice would you give her upon her return? Beg her husband, consult pastors to come and beg, call the families to come and beg. You know the way they come to women early in the mornings and say, is your husband, see what he did. And then maybe they can just beg the man, beg his family. No, it's true, because, I mean, what sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. Exactly. So, please, what's your word of advice?
Unfortunately, she cannot tell her family to come and beg. To read that one, people, those hosts, to their Freddie.
There's nothing to show that the woman wants to come back home. I don't know where this beg side is coming from.
Wait, we're just saying, if she does not go to prison now, so it's looking as if the man is where they have more connection than her.
Yes.
If she don't want to go to prison, what can she do? She cannot call her family. Because
No. Her family have said that they have killed her. Maybe they said that they have killed her.
those ones that will spoil everything, those ones that have destroyed everything.
They are going to jail together.
She should go and beg. She should say, Joe, come.
Okweshini, is it still her
Show
husband?
more.
They are not yet
Wait,
divorced.
if it was the other way around, this is what we
Because this is what will happen if it was the man in this case. Yes, and no matter how they do, you know. And the pastors would even be telling the wife that you cannot divorce him. God hates divorce, so you have to be married. No.
The leg will never reach the
So
ground.
do you now advise that even the parents of the wife to go along with their daughter
I don't
to say we are
understand.
sorry?
They should not
It
even
was
show
just a
their break
mistake.
light. They should not show their
Okay,
break
let's go
light.
the Nollywood way. Ishiayene. It was the devil. It was the devil. How did you
Yeah, devil, I'm sorry for you. I pity you. All these things that you know nothing about, that people just push your name inside. I don't get it.
Oh, really?
Oh,
It's
my
unfair to devil.
How
I do something bad, and the next thing I think of is the work of the devil. Why? Let devil rest more now.
Okay. Now we're letting the devil rest. I will continue to advocate that you give us your comments about this topic right on the comment section. Let know what you're thinking about this. So, I mean, essentially, this has been our first episode with an all-woman on set. Actually, we've not had this before on the lounge. Yes, usually it will be at least a guy on set. So Adetutu is our guy. We brought Spyro, absolutely. So we brought our Spyro, right? And we've been able to do this to a very reasonable conclusion. Thank you so much for joining our first edition of the lounge in 2024. And we do hope that you would join us next week as we treat you to another interesting, controversial and trending issues of the moment. My name is Melanie Ishola, and joining me today have been
Margaret Osazua.
Adetutu Shobowale.
Do join us again. Goodbyes.
Bye.
Thank you.